Let's go. 2 crab, please.
I've been a chef for over 50 years.
Service.
And I've come to realise that the food we eat tells a story about who we are.
So I'm on a mission to find out what we all like to eat today.
Oh, that is good.
From our traditional dishes
Long live the Yorkshire pudding.
to those we've made our own.
I mean, that is multifaceted Britain on one page.
I'll meet producers,
There you see a robot. It's picking them.
I find a lot of craft beers too hoppy. Don't know why, but it tastes all right.
some of our best chefs,
We're picking scurvy grass.
Crikey.
Pretty punchy.
plus those keeping traditions alive.
We've just got to finish. I have no hope.
I'll see how food brings us together.
Dig in.
Lovely, that sort of hot garlic. Fabuloso.
And from my home in Padstow, I'll bring you great dishes of my own.
Love stuff like this. So join me as I unearth the stories behind the food we all love to eat today.
I'm continuing my adventures around London, hunting out foods that define the British palate. What I love about this city is that it's constantly evolving. Even an old dog like me can learn a few tricks, as there's a new culinary experience around every corner.
London is just magical. The food scene is so wonderful. Not only the plethora of restaurants, every type of cuisine, but it's the markets and the food shops. The whole place seems to be alive with great food. And that really, really cheers me up, because I can remember feeling a bit embarrassed in the 70s and 80s. Go to places like New York or Sydney and thinking, actually, London's a bit tired. Now it's all changed. Indisputably, London has the best food in the world.
Incredibly, there are over 120 different world cuisines on offer here, officially making it the most diverse food city on the planet. I love how people arrive in London and just set up shop, sharing their food culture with us. And today I'm checking out some of the newest arrivals. Later, I'll be exploring Walthamstow in the northeast of the city. But my first stop is in West London at Shepherd's Bush Market. I've heard people raving about one particular Palestinian place for years. But this is the first chance I've had to try it for myself.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to Mr. Falafel.
Well, I've just heard so much about it, but what I want to know, what is your favourite? What you recommend?
Okay, how about I make you my childhood favorite, which
Why
is
not?
the falafel and makdoos wrap?
That goose wrap.
Yes, makdoos, they're basically pickled baby aubergine stuffed
Yeah.
with walnuts, sun-dried chili and garlic. And the word makdoos being stacked, so they get stacked on top of each other while they're draining out.
Okay.
And they obviously create the most beautiful flavor.
Ahmad Yassin moved to London in 1992 as a refugee from Lebanon. He started Mr. Falafel as a small kiosk 23 years ago before opening this market cafe.
Some of my most memorable sort of eating moments are in a sort of little stall like this.
Falafels are deep-fried balls of spicy chickpeas. Ahmed says the trick is to make sure the falafel mix has the right amount of water so it doesn't disintegrate when it hits the hot oil.
Just watching Ahmed work there, I mean, there's so much going into the wrap I've ordered.
It's got hummus, fresh salad, chopped parsley, crunchy pickles, and tahini sauce made from crushed sesame seeds, garlic, and lemon juice.
Here we go, Rick.
Thank you very much. That looks good. Such a great combination of very, very vibrant flavours.
That's great. Thank you very much.
So good. No wonder it's so famous.
In fact, Ahmad was ahead of the curve. Since he started out, there's been a huge increase in Middle Eastern eateries all across the UK. But newer cuisines from around the world are landing in London all the time. And a couple of miles south of Shepherd's Bush is the old Brompton Road, where a new restaurant has recently opened. The Maria Neo is a Ukrainian bistro. Its owner is Olga Zivitoska.
Olga, nice to meet
Well,
you.
Rick, nice to meet you. Welcome to our Ukrainian Maria.
Very nice.
The restaurant is staffed entirely by refugees who've had to abandon their lives in their war-torn homeland. It serves as a vital hub for this displaced community.
The name of the restaurant, Maria, it's a dream in Ukrainian. Dream of all Ukrainians for peace and victory.
18-year-old chef Arkady Zerba was studying at an Institute of Food Technology before fleeing the country with his aunt. And today he's cooking Ukraine's national dish, borscht, a hearty, vibrant beetroot soup often served with a shot of vodka. There really is no British equivalent. It's such a significant part of their heritage and daily life.
Olga, what's borscht as a Ukrainian, what it means to you?
It's like part of religion, I would say. It's symbol of Ukrainian cuisine. It's our legend. We eat borscht regularly on everyday basis. It's served at traditional weddings, at memorials. We cook it for Christmas.
So what makes a really special borscht?
I don't think that there can be one borscht, the best one, because really the best borscht for Ukrainians is the one your mother cooks.
You know, when you're talking to me about borscht, you come alive. It means that much to you, doesn't it?
I believe in power of food. Food is opposite to war. It brings people together. It brings joy. It's incredible when all family gathers at one table and share this experience enjoying food.
Olga, would you ask Arkady what borscht means to him?
Sure. Що для тебе борщ?
Ну, це в першу чергу традиційна українська страва, яка дуже важлива для нашої сім'ї. У нас кожен тиждень, щоб у нас не було вдома борщу. Це такого, ну, це щось мало б трапити, щоб цього не було.
Зрозуміло.
Just when he was talking, even in Ukrainian, it's the same thing. Food just brings the best out in people.
Cooking borscht is a 4-pan event. Arkady fries up his onions and carrots separately from the beetroot. And in pan number 4, he parboils his potatoes.
Do you always drink vodka with borscht?
Not always. That's a good question. But borscht tastes better with a shot of vodka. Ukrainian name is горілка. It's just exceptional.
The making of borscht dates back centuries. It is so important culturally to Ukraine that in 2022, after the Russian invasion, UNESCO added it to their list of heritage traditions in need of urgent safeguarding. Arkady mixes the veg together with tomato puree. White kidney beans go in with the potatoes and cabbage. Then everything is mixed together and left to simmer. Olga serves the borscht with sour cream, dill and garlic oil, and brioche bread rolls called pampushkas.
You take a spoon of sour cream
Okay.
and stir it well.
And what about the dill oil?
And so you break a
The
piece of
pampushkas.
pampushka.
Yeah,
You dip it a little bit into oil
yeah.
and eat with your borscht.
I love the pampushkas, by the way.
Thank you.
Well, that's really good.
I'm very pleased to hear it.
When do I get the vodka, by the way?
Just after it.
Okay.
And there is a belief that you should cheers with your left hand for you always to have money. And we say in Ukrainian, budmo,
Budmo.
budmo, let us be.
Let us be. That's a good expression, I must say. So just tell me about how this came into being, this restaurant then.
So we opened during the war in August 2022. And this restaurant is a piece of home which we have here.
History is in the making here, that Ukraine is doing exactly what's happened historically with so many different peoples coming to this country. Somebody would open a restaurant and all the immigrants would go there because it reminded them of home.
London is very favorable. British people are very open and they are curious to taste new cuisines. We are very lucky to be here. We meet tremendous support.
We're also very lucky to have you. That's the truth of it.
I believe that food can transport you anywhere, and I'm so pleased that Olga and her team can at least enjoy a taste of home. There really is no place like home, and back in my kitchen, I'm inspired to continue paying tribute to our friends from Ukraine.
Well, borscht is a very famous Ukrainian dish, but so is the dish I'm going to make now, chicken kiev.
This delicious crumb chicken stuffed with garlic and herb butter is an all-time favourite with us Brits.
So, first of all, I'm going to start by chopping up my dill and my parsley.
Its popularity is thanks to Marks and Spencer, who were the first retailer to introduce the dish in 1979, and it took the UK by storm.
And now 2 cloves of garlic, so quite a lot. And then just get a tiny bit of salt. And this is a favoured way I have of mashing garlic, is squishing it really. The sort of grittiness of the salt helps you to mash the garlic as well. There we go. I'm very finely chopping the parsley and the dill. I want the butter that oozes out to look very sort of elegant and green.
Add the herbs to some nice soft butter along with salt and pepper.
There we go. And now just mash everything together.
The butter needs to be wrapped up and popped in the freezer.
Devilish stuff, cling film. It never stays flat for me. Bit humiliating if you've been cooking for as many years as I have. Roll it till it's reasonably straight. That looks good. So I'll pop that in the freezer. And out comes the one I made earlier.
I'm using chicken cutlets, which are chicken breasts still with the wing bone in.
You want as big a flap as possible to get as much butter in as possible. Just make sure that you don't go too far. Great. Now then, the garlic butter. Again, a thick slice, but not too thick. If it's too thick, it'll ooze out. If it's too thin, there's not enough butter in there. So 4 like that, and then stuff 2 in each.
Dip the chicken first in flour, then beat an egg, and finally coat with breadcrumbs. I'm using panko. To get them nice and crispy, fry them in oil, basting as you go, until they're golden on both sides. Then finish them off in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes.
I must say, I find the history of chicken kiev quite fascinating. Obviously, it would appear to be a Ukrainian dish, but Russia has claimed ownership and France. But at the turn of the last century, a hotel opened in Kiev called the Continental, and its signature dish was chicken kiev. I rest my case. That's good. What I wanted it was the butter to ooze out when I opened it, which indeed it has. It's lovely. And the contrast between the chicken fillet and a nice crisp coating, it's fantastic. I mean, it's amazing that chicken kiev has stayed so popular. I mean, foods come, foods go. But this is still a #1 favourite. And actually, chips aren't bad too.
Back in London, in the northeast suburbs, is trendy Walthamstow. With a buzzing, eclectic food scene, it's been named the coolest neighbourhood in the UK. And it has a glamorous past. 100 years ago, it was home to several film studios during the era of silent movies.
Over there was Broad West Studios, new building now. It was a very important studio from 1910. Produced about 360 films during its history. Actually, studio space in Walthamstow was about 1/5 of all the studio places in Great Britain. And the reason why the studios were here was because the air was very clean. It wasn't like much of London, which was smoggy. And most of the films were made using natural light. Indeed, Broadway Studios was a big glass house. And actually, Walthamstow, it produced some serious actors that time. I've got a few pictures here. You may not have heard of these stars, but I find there's something quite endearing about how important they were at the time. Well, to start with, I have heard of Violet Hobson. She used to drive up and down this road here in a canary yellow open tourer. And here we have Stuart Home. He looks a bit of a blade in his sports shirt. And lastly, I really like this one, Matheson Lang, looking very serious and the sort of dad you could rely on. So there they all are, those forgotten stars. Only 20 of those 360 films remain, and only little snippets of them remain of those. It's really sad, don't you think? When you think what a great industry it was, everything passes, including silent movies.
But there are the exciting green shoots of a thriving newer industry that's taking over the neighbourhood. Craft beer. Over the past 2 decades, there's been a craft beer revolution going on in this country. A massive growth in demand for more diverse, artisanal beer options has led to an explosion of small creative breweries experimenting with new flavour concoctions. These small-scale businesses now amount to a £1.5 billion industry, and Walthamstow has one of the greatest concentrations of microbreweries in the UK.
I've got a bit of a confession to make. I don't really like craft beer. It's too hoppy, it's too intense, it's too in your face. I'm a session beer man, a little more subdued, a bit more delicate, not so much big flavour. But there's 9, soon to be 10 craft breweries around here, so I must have got something wrong.
I'm at the Wild Card Brewery, where the head brewer is Jaega Wise.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome, welcome.
Craft beer is made in small batches using the 4 traditional ingredients: grains, hops, yeast and water.
So what are you brewing today?
So today we're making a table beer. So the table beer is only 2.7%, so quite low ABV.
Quite low, I wouldn't drink that. I like 3.6 to 4.5. Anyway.
It's quite specific. So we've got 3 different kinds of cereals we're using today. And depending on what we're making, you can change quite a few of the grains in order to build a different profile in the base of your beer.
The first stage is the mashing in. Hot water is pumped in and mixed with half a ton of oats and barley. The high temperature creates an environment for enzymes to break down these starchy cereals into simple sugars, which will be turned into alcohol. Everything's given a good stir.
It's quite therapeutic, isn't it?
It's just, I was just thinking it's like a stock pot, but a bit bigger. So what's it like being a brewer then? It must be quite creative.
Yeah, it's this really interesting combination of science and also, I don't want to say art, but I mean...
Why not? Why not? I always think cooking's a bit of an art.
I just feel like we can do so much with just the 4 basic ingredients of beer. And because it's a batch process, every time you taste your final product, you just want to do it again. And you want to make it better than you did the last time. So it's
exactly the same thing. You know, every time I take a Dover sole and I cook it, I think this is going to be the best I've ever done, right? It never is.
Next, we move on to hops.
Of course, and that is the big issue for me. Because well, it's just because I find a lot of craft beers too hoppy. They're too fragrant for me.
Okay. I've got some beers for you later. Right. I think I'm gonna be able to persuade you.
After an hour, the liquid is separated from the grain. Then it's boiled and hops are added. After this batch has cooled, in goes yeast. Then it's put into the fermenter for about a week. After all that, it's ready to drink.
I'm going to start you nice and gentle, Rick.
I'm what Jaega calls a trad, but I'm keeping an open mind.
So the first beer I'm gonna show you is a 4.3% pale ale.
That sounds good to me. Nice colour.
So this is quite clear, quite crisp. It's made with a hop called Citra and a hop called Simcoe as well.
It's all right, actually.
All right.
Well, I mean, I was expecting to be sort of have this incredible fragrance, but actually it's quite subdued. And where are the hops from then?
So these hops are American.
Why? What's wrong with our British hops?
So
This is all right.
different hops from different parts of the world just have different personality traits. US hops tend to be known for being quite loud, quite full of flavour, quite citrus forward.
Yeah.
You've got Australian hops that are very tropical, fruit forward, and British hops tend to be quite floral, quite subtle in flavour, and they work brilliantly when making things like a bitter or a mild.
Why has it all happened? What's got changed in the country to allow this profusion of small breweries?
If you compare beer to wine, for example, it is a lot cheaper of an industry in terms of initial startup. The other thing is the fans. So there is a huge amount of home brewers just in the nation. And those home brewers of yesterday tend to be the brewers of tomorrow.
As a sort of teenager and in my early 20s, I tried brewing my own beer. It was just disgusting. It always tasted so yeasty and cloudy.
Next is a New England IPA, India Pale Ale.
Look a bit scared.
Well, no, I'm just, I mean, it's just a bit cloudy.
It is a bit cloudy. So that's what a New England IPA is.
I don't know why, but it tastes all right.
I'm definitely coming round, but this might be a step too far for me. A beer made with fruit, raspberry, blackcurrant and lime.
It's got the sort of tartness of berry fruit, so I mean that's quite nice, but I wasn't expecting it.
You begin to blur the lines between cider, winemaking,
absolutely,
and beer making, and there are lots of different flavours that you can get.
On me, you know.
I'm going to have you persuaded, yet, Rick.
Do you know what? I'm really impressed. It's such fun. Honestly, it is like cooking, though. I mean, you just got this sort of big kitchen.
Yeah,
and you're just producing lovely dishes. And it's funny because about, 15 years ago, my father-in-law said, you should open a microbrewery in Padstow. And I thought, are you out of your mind? And now look.
Missed the trick there, Rick.
Yes, I did. It's all right, running restaurants is enough, to be honest. But well, Jaega, I have to say this has been an absolute revelation to me, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
You converted?
Converted, yes.
Excellent.
I brought a can of Jaeger's Pale Ale back to base, where I have a cunning plan. I'm going to use it in a sauce for some pan-fried John Dory with bacon and lettuce.
And the reason I thought of it was I really like a bit of bitterness with a fish sauce, but not too much. And when I was drinking their pale ale, I just thought, this will actually make a very nice sauce. Well, I've got a very nice fillet of John Dory. This is always known as the Saint-Pierre, because that's the mark of St. Peter. In French, it's called Saint-Pierre. We call it John Dory, which I think is a rather nice name.
Cut the fillet in two, then set aside while you get going on the sauce, starting with smoked, streaky bacon.
I wonder if the trendy people of East London will enjoy this dish. The people that love craft ale, they like everything to be local and honest and wholesome, and I think they'd like this dish.
Next, Ingo leeks.
I could have used onion, I could have used shallots, but with fish, the leek member of the allium family, I think is excellent. Now for my beer. I think I'll use half this can. Lovely pale ale, smelling great.
I'm also adding chicken stock. Beer is great for adding body to a dish. And although the hops add an edge of bitterness, it's balanced out by the sweetness of the malt.
You really can taste the hops in that. Good on them for making a beer so suitable for my fish sauce.
Now I'm going to cook something you normally only think about eating raw, a cos lettuce.
A lot of people don't sort of think of lettuce as a vegetable. They think of, well, as a salad, but actually it is, in a dish like this, makes a very, very nice vegetable. Right, that is nearly ready to go. I'm going to turn it off and cook my fish, and then finish off the lettuce at the last minute. So here we go with the fish. A little bit of oil. I'm not going to flour it or anything. I'm just going to cook it as it is.
Grind a bit of black pepper and cook for 6 to 7 minutes until the skin is crisp and the fish is opaque.
I think those will be nicely cooked on the skin side. Yeah, that looks really nice.
Now chuck the lettuce into the sauce.
Just see how that volume is decreasing so quickly. It's like cooking spinach.
And a handful of flat leaf parsley.
Just going to put a little bit more butter in there now. It's this French expression, monter au beurre. Just means you add a little bit of fresh butter at the last minute, which just gives it the sauce a glisten, but also gives it a sort of fresh flavour as well. Monter au beurre. Well, I'm looking forward to this. I know self-praise is no recommendation, but it is really good. John Dory's a fabulous fish, actually. It's so firm. Unfortunately, it is a bit expensive, but you could use bass, you could use bream, you could use flatfish like plaice or lemon sole. And I do like the hops in there. But all the ingredients are local, which I think is really good, except perhaps the American hops.
But as a craft ale newbie, I think I'll allow it. Back in London, one last stop at a restaurant called Delina for another world cuisine and a first for me.
Hello.
Hi there.
I've never eaten Ethiopian food before. What can I order?
I think beyanut is the best way to introduce you to Ethiopian food.
For the traditional dish of Beyanatu, Chef Nazareth Khalif starts by making the fermented flatbread called injera.
Try that.
It's amazing. It's so sour. It tastes almost cheesy, but it's like sort of bread with cheese on it.
Yes.
So flavourful. I'm loving the spice.
Yes.
And the butteriness of it and the crispness of it.
The injera acts as a serving platter and accompaniment. The sauces are dolloped on top, and you use the bread to scoop them up.
Oh, that's gorgeous. It's so lovely to come into a place and taste things that are lovely like this that you've never tasted before. And I think that's what's so special about London. It's celebrating food from everywhere. And as ever, the one thing that you can always say about food is it draws people together.
Next time, I'm in Kent.
Oh, hooray! I just love watching fish coming in their necks. Oh,
What do you think?
they're soft and incredibly sweet.
You can't get a better taste than an English cherry, I think.
I am actually itching to taste this. Chocolate is a great weakness with me.